Welcome to our very first episode of Blessed on Two Wheels. My name is Dennis.
Hey, my name is Nestor.
Before we get started, I wanted to first thank the motorcycle safety lawyers for all their support. They are more than your average motorcycle lawyers that promote motorcycle safety courses, a motorcycle-specific roadside assistance and towing program, and much more. There's a reason they are called America's favorite motorcycle accident lawyer, because bikers matter. If you are ever in a motorcycle accident, give them a call at 888-500-9000. Hey, this podcast is dedicated to motorcycle safety, rider awareness, and most importantly, supporting families of fallen riders. But since this is our very first episode, we want to take a step back, introduce ourselves, share a little bit of a story so you can learn a little bit about us and what we're all about, what our background is at. So
That's right. Before we get into gear, riding techniques, or insurance, we want you to know, who we are, and that's really the point of it. Why we started this nonprofit, and what we're trying to build with this community.
Well, so I guess let's both start at the beginning. Nestor, tell me your story. Tell me your story. Why, how did you start riding? What does it mean to you to ride?
Well, it's funny we were touching on this subject not too long ago. And as many teenagers don't have the mature self-awareness, I was one of them back in my college and high school days. And so I started, riding motorcycles with some friends and why not, being, of course, not very careful. But that actually opened my eyes into what we're doing today because, I did lose some friends back then for doing irresponsible things that made me very aware of safety, when it comes to riding. So I stopped with motorcycles for a while after that. And then I recently got back, I want to say maybe post COVID, into touring, motor touring, which, by the way, that's how we met.
That's right. That's right. I think I was riding. I was freezing. It was wintertime, and I was going to Holyoke. Well, obviously you were going to the same place.
Yeah.
We're both within the same motorcycle club, and I was on a New Jersey Turnpike, and it was absolutely extremely cold.
Breaks. I mean, if anybody that's hearing this podcast has ever been, up north, and when was this? End of the year, I want to say. Towards the end of the year, I want to say maybe November or
It might have been,
September.
yeah. Yeah, I can't remember when. I just know it was extremely cold.
Those temperatures drop faster than you see in a state trooper on the highway. I mean, it is goes down to the single digits. So that was a pretty cool story, actually, how we met. And we actually didn't know each other prior to that at all.
Nope,
And
not at all.
our club is actually pretty big, so you really don't get to meet everybody. But that was definitely a story that, we might save that story for the next episode because it's quite long, but it's actually very interesting.
Yeah, it is. Well, I've been riding pretty much my entire life. I didn't start on the street though. I grew up in Arizona and I rode motorcycles, as a kid growing up. We'd even ride our dirt bikes to school. In high school, we'd ride them to high school. Then, I got a street bike, and I can't remember if I had a motorcycle license or not. I should have if it was needed at the time. I can't remember. And I know that when I was in college, I had a motorcycle's license, though, because I rode a motorcycle for it being cost effective.
Right.
So I've been riding pretty much my whole entire life. But yeah, I am a club rider. We both belong to a club. We both belong to the same club. And we ride long distances. And that's what I enjoy more than anything. If I can get on my bike and ride from South Florida all the way to Washington, the state of Washington, I'm happy. I'll just ride until I can't put gas in it anymore. And that's where I find peace in my life now, is being able to ride long distances. The nice thing about it is you gain a lot of experience too, traveling those miles. You end up getting a lot of experience. And believe me, I'm blessed on two wheels that I'm still here. I've made plenty of mistakes. I made plenty of errors. I've been in really bad situations. I've had so many close calls. I can't count them on all my hands and my feet. I can't. But I learned from them. There's been things that I absolutely really watch out for and I pay real close attention to that I didn't used to. Where mistakes of like, oh my gosh, this is something I got to watch out for. I'm lucky I'm here today, after what I just experienced and what I just went through. And a lot of it, everybody always wants to blame it on the cars and blame it on the four wheelers or on the cagers, you know? And it's not. I've made plenty of mistakes and not even driving or riding erratically, just made bad mistakes. But I'm here now and I'm happy that we're able to work together and try to help the community out and help other fellow riders and see if we can't save a few lives, you know, on down the road.
Yep. That's more definitely, well, mainly the core of why, this nonprofit started. But it's a great feeling to be in the motorcycle. I mean, I think that the closest to freedom that you ever get is riding a motorcycle, being in a motorcycle. And as you mentioned, I think anybody that has been touring or that has toured before has come close to a close call. Anybody that tours, anybody that goes long distance has definitely come across those. And the core of this nonprofit in this podcast is to bring awareness. And that's mainly the point.
Absolutely. I mean, motorcycles, you know, they're fun. That's what they're, you know, that's why I ride. I like the enjoyment that I get out of it. But at the same time, we got to talk about being able to stay safe and ride safe, protecting myself.
Hmm.
And, you know, this nonprofit, well, a couple of years ago in the club that we're both in, we lost over a dozen riders. I know we lost over 13 in 1 year. And that is when I really started looking into this. How can I save more people? How can I save more riders out there? You know, what can I do to try to get people, get some awareness out there, and also when people do go down, you have families that go down. The rider goes down, and they, you know, what do they leave behind? You know, from a financial uh, situation that you know can actually bankrupt them. So we'll try to help people in that way. We want to make sure that we support families that have been impacted by the tragedy of a lost rider. I mean, that's really, really important. You know, staying safe, protecting yourself while you're on the road. You know, but I mean, let's talk about the nonprofit itself. You know, Blessed on Two Wheels, what our mission really actually is about. You
I
know,
mean, at the core, we're about education and support, and education for the riders and the public about motorcycle safety, proper gear, and of course, insurance, which is very, very important. And support really for the families of riders who tragically didn't make it home. And we can't stress this enough. I mean, it could be anybody, really anybody. It doesn't matter if you're going for a short ride or a long ride. It could be anybody. It could happen to anybody, and everybody's situation is the same.
well, you know, and just like I was speaking before, you know, when a rider goes down, when a rider falls, the family is left with the heartbreak, you
Mhm.
know, the unexpected financial struggles, funeral costs. Then there's legal challenges that come with it, all the medical bills. I mean, it's completely overwhelming. So, you know, that's why I wanted to, you know, put this together. We want to step in and help however we can.
And that might mean connecting families to grief counseling, helping with burial expenses, which honestly I feel that is more expensive to die than to be alive, and just being as a support system during the toughest times of their lives.
Yeah. Well, you know, they say with riders, if you haven't been down, you're gonna go down. You know, which is unfortunate that saying is out there in the motorcycle community with us. And but you know, for the riders that are still with us, I want to see if I can take that core of individuals and see if we can reduce the risk of the tragedy by raising the awareness. Uh, I believe that almost every accident could be prevented, and a life could be saved, and a family could be spared from the grief of by not losing a rider.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, what can you expect from the podcast moving forward? What do you think?
We'll be talking about safe riding techniques and the latest safety gear and how to choose the right insurance. Again, we mentioned insurance a lot, and that is because there is a reason for it. As Dennis mentioned earlier, not if you're not covered for the right amount, and then you have a pretty bad accident, and that insurance is not going to cover the entire thing. It's going to cover up whatever your limit on that insurance is. So choosing the right insurance is also very important, believe it or not, as well as gear. And that's what we're going to be stretching this.
Oh,
We'll share
absolutely.
also share stories, some top, some tough, some very inspiring from riders and families.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think as as we do more and more episodes, we plan on doing an episode every single week, and we're going to bring people on. We're going to share some of the safety equipment that's out there. There's some pretty cool jeans out there now. Nobody wants
Yeah.
to wear leathers. And you got AAA. You got some AAA jeans that are out there. A pair of, somebody wearing tennis shoes or something like that.
Oh
Those
man,
disintegrate in less than a second when they hit the asphalt. And I've seen
that
some
is tough to
slow
watch.
motion. Yeah, I've seen
That
some
is
slow motion stuff on that, and it is not good. We want to bring some guests on. We want to bring some people on that can help people out and share some safety gear that's out there to try to make things a little bit safer for all of us. Talk to some real safety experts. Talk to people that are some of these attorneys and how important it is to have the right insurance. We'll talk to some of your insurance providers and see how what they've got to say and what you should have and why it's so important to have it. On and then we'll have some people on where we can that we've had some fallen riders, and we'll have the families on to where we can honor the memory of their loved ones that they may have lost.
absolutely, and most importantly, this will be a space for the community, really, a place where writers can learn, families can find hope, and together we can build something bigger than ourselves.
Yeah, no, well, and that's the whole point. I mean, I want to do this because I just want to save lives. I want to save lives, and for the people that do go down that don't that make it through, that they're not bankrupt for the rest of their life. They're not, they can get the proper care. They're being taken care of. But this is our very first episode of Blessed on Two Wheels. We hope that you all get to know us a little bit better and understand the heart behind what our mission is.
Yeah, and we hope you keep riding along with us each week as we dive into the topics that matter the most, to riders and their families. Because let's be honest, I mean, when you go riding, it's not only you who suffers; it's also your family.
The
And
family
a
and
lot,
the loved ones around you.
and
Absolutely.
a lot of people don't think this. And something very, very short that I will share about that is that when I was taking my two wheels class to get my license, I remember the teacher would always say, and he never changed his mind about this. He will always tell me, when you go riding, always think the worst is going to happen. And I didn't understand why he would say that to me. But now, as I've been obviously riding for a while, I see why, because overconfidence does kill. And if you're overconfident on that motorcycle, and it doesn't matter how fast or how slow are you going, you know, in a split second, that the overconfidence could change your life like this. And
Absolutely.
so
Absolutely.
it's
So,
always
yeah,
something
but
to
it's
keep in
just
mind.
always, and I've been guilty of this. I just want everybody to remember, make sure that when you're going to go get on that bike, gear up, ride smart. And you always got to look out for everything out there on the road, everything that's
And
out there, all the hazards that are out there.
and never forget, we ride not just for ourselves, but in memory of the ones who can't.
Yep. So, hey, thank you guys for joining us. Until next time, let's keep the rubber side down and stay blessed on two wheels.